Hey everyone, welcome to episode 7 of Risen. If you are new here, welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad that you're here today. On this podcast, we discuss everything art related, such as design, acting, and filmmaking. I also share some of my best tips for living the best life you deserve. So if you vibe with me, I would love for you to hit that follow button on Spotify. And if you are watching me on YouTube, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any future episodes. With that being said, let's get to it. So, as you can see, if you're watching the episode on YouTube, I have this very interesting background right now. Right next to me, I have my dog, Toby. He is a stuffed animal. One, because I'm technically allergic to dogs and I have never had a real life pet before. So Toby will do for now. He's really cute. He's a Rottweiler. Really cute dog. He treats me well. Um, and then I also have my Northeastern banner up here. Woo! Gotta represent the Huskies, class of 2019. Very proud Husky. And I have my Taylor Swift poster over there. I got my screen printed. I think therefore I am poster by Rene Descartes. And then I have my little hummingbird painting over there that I painted. I want to say like maybe 4 years ago. It's been a while, but it's a watercolor painting um, on eight and a half by 11 piece of canvas paper. I don't know why I'm being so descriptive of my background, but I'm being descriptive in case you're watching, in case you're listening to the episode on Spotify and you can't actually see what's going on here. But anyway, let's jump into the episode. So on this episode, I will be discussing OpenAI's new feature called Sora. If you're not familiar with OpenAI, they are responsible for creating ChatGPT. And what Sora is that it creates video from text prompts. And it does so very quickly and very efficiently, I might add. What is said here on the OpenAI website is that Sora is an AI model that can create realistic and imaginative scenes from text instructions. They say here, quote, "We're teaching AI to understand and simulate the physical world in motion with the goal of training models that help people solve problems that require real-world interaction. Introducing Sora, our text-to-video model. Sora can generate videos up to a minute long while maintaining visual quality and adherence to the user's prompt." So I want to go over some of the examples here that Sora has put out. I do want to disclose that Sora isn't currently open to the public. Right now, it seems as though they're just testing this AI feature to see if they can, I guess, nitpick and see what they need to improve upon, what areas need some work before they can give it out to the public. But before I dive into some examples that I see here, I just want to point out and say that from an AI and advancement in technology standpoint, I'm concerned. I'm concerned because it seems to me that as time goes on, that technology is starting to take over what humans used to once do. And I'd say this type of AI that's being created and generated is affecting those specifically within the creative field, i.e., creative professionals like myself. I'm a full-time designer. And even with things like generated AI being embedded in design programs like Photoshop and Illustrator and all that, it worries me that in the future, people are gonna dive into these platforms themselves, maybe not necessarily needing a degree in design, and do things for themselves. In which case, what does that mean for me as a creative? What does that mean for other creatives out there who have worked so hard to get their degree, who have put effortless amount of effort, effortless amount of time into producing a work of art that now a machine can do in less amount of time? And it worries me that humans will become obsolete because of this technology. Now, there is something that does fascinate me about AI and technology is that it's intriguing. Um, it is very intriguing to see how much we've changed over time, but I'm also worried again about that environmental aspect, that human to technology aspect, and seeing how that might affect us in the future, and not only the creative field, but also other aspects of life, whether it's engineering or chemistry or industry performing works or professions or whatever field you may be in. I feel like technology and AI is going to somehow kind of, you know, peek its way through and have an effect some way or another. So AI is definitely something to look out for and something to be mindful of. But as of right now, I'm definitely concerned. I remember um, there was this Will Smith video circulating the internet, and it was of him. It was an AI generated video, mind you. It was of Will Smith eating ramen. Um, and he was eating ramen quite vigorously. I don't know why that AI video was generated in that way or how the text prompt was typed in or written in some way to result in that type of video, but it was a rather grotesque video where his face was kind of disoriented and it wasn't quite there. Like you could tell it was Will Smith eating ramen, but it wasn't one of those AI videos that you can be like, oh my gosh, that actually looks like Will Smith. And that was a year ago. Fast forward to 2024 and this new Sora feature being kind of soft launched out there just shows how far we've come and how fast technology is advancing, because in these examples that I'm going to show you right now with Sora, you can see just how lifelike and realistic these AI generated videos are. They seem as though humans have made them or animators have made them, and no, it's literally a machine. It is literally a computer that has made it. And again, this goes back to, what does this mean for creative professionals? Where are our jobs going to go? What's going to happen to us humans who've have spent hours upon hours creating an animation or creating a video or producing uh, these stories that are now in the hands of machine learning? I don't know. I don't know. And that's what scares me the most. An example that I'm going to share with you from Sora is, it says here, a stylish woman, and this is a prompt that was typed in to produce this 1 minute video. A stylish woman walks down a Tokyo street filled with warm, glowing neon and animated city signage. She wears a black leather jacket, a long red dress, and black boots, and carries a black purse. She wears sunglasses and red lipstick. She walks confidently and casually. The street is damp and reflective, creating a mirror effect of the colorful lights. Many pedestrians walk about. Now, as I'm playing this video, I can already tell this has to be the most high quality AI video I have ever seen. It depicts a woman exactly as described in the text prompt. She's wearing a long dress, leather jacket, looking very stylish, very fashionable, walking down the streets of Tokyo. And if you look closely, you can see her face feels rather video game-ish. The facial features are not quite as realistic as they could be, but it's still incredibly impressive. This is like a very high quality, it could be a very high quality video game, but from a distance, it also looks like it could be a video that could be embedded on a very well-known brand website like Gucci or Prada or any, icon like fashion brand that needs an advertisement, And I kid you not, this video was likely created in under a couple of seconds. It's a minute long, but it only took probably a couple of seconds to create this very well produced video. I mean, the lighting is beautiful. Um, there are pedestrians walking in the background as the woman is in the foreground of the video. It seems like it was a rainy day, or it is a rainy day, and there are reflections being shown on the sunglasses of the woman. It's extremely detailed. I mean, from the small prompt that was written to generate this video, this is an extremely detailed video. Once again, produced by a machine, produced by a non-human. So that's one of the video examples. And I thought that was really impressive. We have another video example here that I want to show you and walk you through. And if you're listening to the episode on Spotify, I'm going to try to be as descriptive as I possibly can to describe these videos for you. But the next sample I have here, it says a movie trailer. This is the prompt. A movie trailer featuring the adventures of a 30-year-old spaceman wearing a red wool knitted motorcycle helmet, blue sky, salt desert, cinematic style shot on 35mm film and vivid colors. Imagine that. 35mm film. So not only are we being descriptive of the type of people in this trailer, the environment, the setting, not only are we doing all that, we are literally asking this AI generated, this AI video generated platform to use a certain type of camera, a 35mm film camera. That's insane. That's literally insane. And as I'm playing this video, right off the bat, it looks incredibly cinematic. The person in the foreground is exactly that of what was described in the text, in the prompt. It's a man, a 30-year-old man, wearing a red wool knitted motorcycle helmet, and he is surrounded by what looks like snow. It says salt desert, but it kind of looks like snow, and he's approaching this space shuttle, and he's followed by another man who is also dressed very similar to him. He's also wearing a red wool knitted motorcycle helmet. They seem to be just observing their surroundings. They seem to be kind of lost in this universe, but I can tell you right now, this looks extremely cinematic. If it wanted to be shown in the theaters, it could definitely do so, because these people look incredibly realistic, from the hairs on their face to the hairs kind of plopping out of the red wool motorcycle hat. The what is it? The freckles on this man's face, like this one compared to the woman walking in the Tokyo street, is actually much more realistic. Like, it looks like a real actor, and this is not a real actor. Like, this is, I don't want to say robot, but it's literally a robot that looks exactly like a human. Like, that type of trailer, this trailer of the 30-year-old spaceman, that worries me the most. Why? Because it makes me feel as though actors are going to become obsolete. It really does. And it worries me, because if trailers can be made like this and look super realistic and make it seem as though these people acting in this trailer are real actors, like, what is that going to mean for the future of film? For the future of creative professionals, like I said in the beginning? You know, will we be obsolete? How is that going to impact us? How is that going to affect us when it comes to, I guess, saving time? Are producers gonna look into that? Are they gonna look into creating more AI generated stuff? And if they are, I'm disheartened. I'm sad. I don't want that to happen. It's crazy that's where we're headed. And again, there's some pros and cons to this. I mean, yes, creating these types of videos are time efficient and maybe cost efficient, but then what happens to the actual creators who've done this their entire lives? What's going to happen to them? Up next, we have an animated scene that features a close up of a short, fluffy monster beside a melting red candle. The art style is 3D and realistic with a focus on lighting and texture. The mood of the painting is one of wonder and curiosity as the monster gazes at the flame with wide eyes and an open mouth. Its pose and expression convey a sense of innocence and playfulness, as if it is exploring the world around it for the first time. The use of warm colors and dramatic lighting further enhance the cozy atmosphere of the image. And right now, I'm looking at exactly that, exactly what I described. A cute little furry monster who has wide eyes, open mouth, is reaching his little hand towards this red candle, this melting red candle. He's looking at it in surprise and astonishment and curiosity. And this literally looks like an animator made this. It has so much detail from the fur of the little creature to the candle itself to the shadows around the creature. It looks like light is hitting this little monster from the back, so it's casting the shadow towards the front in a very realistic manner. And that to me is incredible. If this was created within seconds, that is outstanding. And again, scary because an animator will likely take hours upon hours, if not days, to animate just the fur. I kid you not, just the fur on a creature like this. That that blows my mind. That blows my mind. I'm astounded and surprised and worried and frightened all in one. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Are you excited for AI? Are you worried like me and what the future holds for mankind when it comes to these machine created videos and platforms and content? What do you think? I don't know. The last one I want to talk about is a young man at his 20s who is sitting on a piece of cloud in the sky reading a book. Again, very similar to that Spaceman trailer that I was talking to y'all about. This looks very realistic. It looks like a real man, a darker skinned man this time, reading a book on a cloud. The pages do look a little wonky, at least the flipping of the pages in the book look as though something's up because they don't flip. Some of these pages don't flip all the way through. They kind of like stop midway and then kind of reverse. So I guess it works in the sense that he's in the clouds and it's windy, but not in the sense that it feels cohesive quite yet. But it's definitely there. I mean, it's like a 90% there. And again, going from the Will Smith eating ramen video to these videos now is absolutely incredible and scary. Again, I don't stop saying that it's scary because it is. As far as the jobs of creative professionals go. I mean, are these videos going to act as a support system? If they are, I mean, great. Maybe it will make our lives easier in the future. But if they're meant to take our jobs away, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. Toby agrees with me, right, Toby? Toby's chill. He agrees with me. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments because this is really, really interesting stuff. And even now, I mean, given that so much has changed and so much has advanced within that year, I can't even imagine what this is going to look like 5-10 years from now. I just can't. I don't know. Maybe we'll be having this conversation 5-10 years from now. Maybe my thoughts on AI have changed by then. I don't think they will. But we'll see. And with that, I want to actually talk very briefly about Michael Jackson. Part of the reason why I'm wearing this fedora is because it's fashionable, and it also reminds me of Michael, who I will be seeing. Not obviously not the real Michael because he's dead, but I will be seeing MJ the musical on Broadway as part of the Broadway in Boston featured by Lexus. I think it's sponsored by the company Alexis, but I'll be seeing him in July. And I'm really excited because I've been a diehard Michael fan since forever, since I was really little. I remember trying to learn his dance moves, trying to dress like him, and trying to sing like him. Maybe not sing like him necessarily, but you know what I mean. Just trying to like impersonate him and um, just have a great time. And I don't know that there have been some allegations when it comes to Michael and things that people have said that he's done, things that he's been accused of in terms of um, children accusations and children. I don't like to say the word. What do you call it? You know the word I'm talking about, the A word. Children A. And that's not cool at all. I don't know if those allegations were ever true. I know people have come up in the past and talked about, you know, how Michael has had this fondness with children and how he's been a little too kind and he's been really touchy-feely with them. I don't know how true that is. I know there have been people who have come up and talked about Michael's treatment with them. Older adults now who were then children, obviously, who had been attending the Neverland theme park that Michael had made for children, specifically inviting them and Michael having these sleepovers. Now, let me set the record straight. Michael never had a childhood. Okay, his dad was crazy. His dad would constantly force him and his brothers to be something bigger than themselves, to be these massive stars at a really young age. I think Michael was only like 7 when he started vocal lessons, and then 10 when he was introduced as Little Michael from the Jackson 5. So the whole idea of Michael Jackson creating this childlike theme park and wanting to build a childhood that he missed out on for himself, I get. You know, he seemed like to be a man for the people. A lot of people loved him. He's an icon. He's a legend in himself. People call him the king of pop. He's great and all that. Um, but the allegations that come about have me have do have me have do give me second thoughts about him. Not to say that I'm going to stop listening to his music, but you know, you have to walk around these things with caution because you can't end up loving or idolizing someone so much so that you don't completely know their background or completely know their history. And I hope that if Michael did something wrong, I hope that he has forgiven himself wherever he is right now. And I really hope that if there were victims, that they can speak out and speak their voice and help others who are going through the same thing, who are also afraid to speak, who were also afraid to speak um, when they were much younger and they don't have a platform to open up about these allegations. I just hope that things can be justified, and I hope there is justice for innocent children who maybe were molested. Um, Again, I never want to think that Michael ever did anything wrong to harm anyone. I think his fan base is so strong and continues to be strong even after his death. I don't think anyone ever wants to think that he did anything wrong. But you know, you just see these documentaries and these videos and these allegations, and you're like, could it have happened? Did it happen? Again, we don't know. Um, but even if you know someone that's going through this, tell them to not be afraid to speak up, be a support system for them, and just hear them out with whatever they need. And again, I'm not praising anything that Michael has done if he has done something wrong. Um, so I'm definitely not ignoring that fact, but I'm also not ignoring the fact that also did a lot of good for the world, whether it was through his music, through different causes, and through Michael just being Michael. So I just wanted to, I don't know, add that into today's episode. Let me know what you think of Michael Jackson. Do you think that he was in the wrong for something that he admitted he didn't do and maybe actually did? Um, should people be on the lookout for famous people such as him? I know in the past, I think there was a commentary on a man named Dan Schneider, and Dan Schneider was the creator of a lot of popular shows on Nickelodeon, such as Sam and Cat, Drake and Josh, The Amanda Bynes Show, Keenan and Kel, all that, iCarly, Victorious, all those really, really popular shows that I grew up watching. He had some allegations as well around being a very, very manipulative producer, especially with he showed a lot of manipulation with the children that he had hired and he was working with, and that's not cool. That's never cool to treat other people as less than you just because you're this high-end producer or you're super important. And basically, like, his job lies in basically your job lies in his hands. So I mean, it is possible that higher end people or famous people or wealthy people think that they can just do whatever the heck they want because they're so well off. But no matter who you are, no matter where you are in life, always do the right thing. You know, never let money get to your head because at the end of the day, we all have the same fate. And I hate to say it, but we have to be realistic. We have to just respect one another and be kind to one another and just learn to forgive. I'm someone that tends to hold a lot of grudges, and I've tried to get better at overcoming and letting go. But you know, it makes sense. It makes sense to not necessarily want to be kind to the people that have done you wrong, and that makes sense. I get it. But over time, I think love will always win, and hate has no place in this world. So thank you all so much for listening to this episode. Again, if you have any comments on AI or Michael Jackson or life in general, let me know. Shoot a comment my way through Spotify or through YouTube. But with that, I will see you all in the next episode. Take care. Bye bye.